Namaskar. Hello and welcome to my channel. Today the background is not very good because I'm traveling here and there, but you will enjoy. So listen to me. Today I'm going to review a book. The name of this book is The Imperishable Seed, SWD Seed. And this book is about the history of mathematics, or should I say the history of Indian mathematics, particularly the contribution of Indian mathematicians starting from few century BCE until the medieval period to the world of mathematics. Okay? And this book is written by Bhaskar Kamble PhD. It means Dr. Bhaskar Kamble. Now you might ask, why hell on earth I'm going to review this book? After all, I'm not an expert. I'm neither a historian nor a mathematician. So why hell on earth I'm going to review this book? The simple answer is because I know Bhaskar. He was 1 year senior to me at IIT Kanpur. We pursued our PhD almost at the same time. So I know him very well. Of course, I don't claim that we were intimate friends. No, we are not. But we knew each other well. So I might be biased, and therefore what I would do, I would neither praise this book nor I will criticize this book. Okay, I will just simply spell out what is there in this book so that you can decide for yourself whether you would like to read this book or not. Okay, so let's come to the point. The Imperishable Seed, that's the main title, and then there are subtitles. It reads how Hindu mathematics changed the world and why this history was erased. Okay, so now you might ask, what does Hindu mathematics mean? Is it Indian mathematics, or does the book only describe the contribution of the Hindus, so to speak? So let me read it out what Bhaskar means by the word Hindu. Okay, in author's own word, let me read it out. I think I took a note. It is page number 29. Yes, so let me read it out. What does Hindu mean? I want to, so quote, okay, quote, I want to make it very clear that by Hindu mathematics I mean the mathematics of the Sanskrit scholars following the tradition of the Vedas, as well as the mathematics of the Buddhists and the Jains, unquote. So that's what he means, the contribution of the Hindus, Buddhists and Jains, roughly starting from few century BCE until the medieval period. Okay? Alright, so that is the basic framework. Now let's come to the point. What does this book contain? Okay? So I have taken some notes for you guys, and I will try to discuss based on this short notes that I have taken. Okay, so what I have figured out, that this book mainly contains two things. One is of course obvious, that is clear from the name of the book. Okay, the contribution of the Hindus to the mathematics. And the second thing is of course, which I think more important, is like the author, the Bhaskar, not the Bhaskar tries to connect Indian philosophy with the mathematics. He tries to argue that our mathematical tradition was not born out of anything. It has a deep connection with our philosophy. Okay, Hindu, Buddhist, Jain philosophy. Alright, clear? Now, what does the author try to prove by writing this book? What is his main contribution? What I gather reading this book is like, he of course had a deep passion for the history of mathematics, and of course perhaps we are all Indians, so naturally we will have a curiosity to know what our ancestors contributed to mathematics. And in doing so, what he has discovered is that in many cases, in a kind of more popular notion or history, people have attributed many mathematicians, Arabs, Europeans and so on, as the founders of a particular idea. Let's say Mr. X is the founder of algebra, and Mr. X belongs to the Arab world. But Bhaskar has clearly shown that there existed a Mr. Y in India several hundred years before, who used algebra for various calculations and so on. Of course, he might have used a different notation, but nevertheless, few hundreds years ago, he existed in India and he used algebra. So how Mr. X in Arab can be called the founder of algebra? Not only algebra, Bhaskar basically argues in number system, arithmetics, calculus, geometry, in various fields. We started our journey much before those people normally whom these fields are attributed. Okay, they are considered to be the founders, but we had a tradition much before those people. Of course, here it is very important to mention that Bhaskar of course never said that the other people didn't have any contribution, okay, or we had a kind of complete knowledge of the field. No, of course it doesn't suggest that. It simply says that we had this tradition much before, and therefore we should be given the credit as the founder of this field, not XYZ of the outside world. So our tradition existed much before those traditions. Okay, but it doesn't mean that other people didn't contribute. They perhaps took it to the next level. They made it more modern or fascinating. These are of course my addition. This book doesn't sort of explicitly say these things. So that is one aspect of this book, and of course in doing so he doesn't arbitrarily write. He gives references, okay, and he quotes those things, and therefore in today's time the interested authors, okay, can read this book, go through those references, and can verify whether what Bhaskar has claimed is true, or those are simply his biasness. It borns out of his imagination, okay, it's a figment of his imagination. And of course another interesting thing of this book is it tries to connect the old notation and the modern day notation, right? For instance, in today's time, if we want to add two numbers a and b, we would simply write a plus b, right? But of course in the ancient Indian mathematicians used different notation. It didn't use the plus sign or a or b, or didn't write plus in the middle, and maybe they used in a different way, and how to sort of connect those things. So those things are kind of spelled out in this book. Well, so that is a kind of broad overview of this book, and as I said that I would not sort of give any mark that whether this is an excellent book, must read. Oh no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say whether it is a biased book or no, I'm not going to say that. This is for you to judge. I only give you a broad overview, what it deals, what it tries to establish, and so on and so forth. This book roughly contains 400 pages, a lot of references. The total page number goes something like 450, lot of references, okay. Complicated things are put in the in the appendix, okay. And of course few things I can certainly say. This book looks very good. Bhaskar has used a first class language. The English is simply superb, not very difficult to understand, and also at the same time he didn't compromise with the quality of the language, okay. And of course the book deals with the mathematics, okay, a lot of very intriguing mathematical concept, and therefore the author has tried his best to make it simple to the extent possible. But if you want to really understand the book in depth, some understanding of mathematics would be necessary, of course, needless to say. And now it's for you to decide whether you are going to read this book or not. If you read this book, you must let me know what do you think. So let me end here. See you again on another video, another occasion. Bye bye.